Welcome to the Run Strong Run podcast, where I amplify inspiring voices from the back of the pack and loudly proclaim all runners count. Without further ado, here's this week's inspiring runner. Welcome back to the Run Strong Run podcast. Today, we're talking about Amazon Prime Days. Now, before you tune out thinking this is just another sales episode, hear me out. I'm not sharing hundreds of random products or things I've never touched. I'm sharing the products I personally use as a marathon pacer, running coach, busy mom of 4, and someone who has spent the last 14 years figuring out what actually helps make running easier, more enjoyable, and more sustainable. If you're a beginner runner, training for your first race, or simply trying to stay active and consistent, these are the products I would recommend again and again. Are you ready? Let's dive in. First up, is my Gymboss Interval Timer. If you followed me for any length of time, you know this would be first. The Gymboss is the tool I use when pacing marathons. It's the tool I recommend to every beginner runner. And it's one of the reasons run walk intervals are so simple to implement. Instead of constantly staring at your watch, the Gymboss vibrates or beeps, or vibrates and beeps when it's time to run and when it's time to walk. That's it. No math. No guessing, no stress. So whether you're a 30-second walk break person or training for your first marathon, this tiny device right here, this Gymboss, removes so much mental effort and allows you to focus on simply moving forward. For less than the cost of most race entries, it can completely change your running experience. Next up, besides my Gymboss, one of my other top favorite tools and is essential for running is, of course, my Brooks running shoes. A good pair of shoes won't magically make you faster, but they can absolutely make running more comfortable. My go-to shoes currently for marathons are the Brooks Glycerin Max 2. Now, I've spent years experimenting with different brands and models, and Brooks continues to be one of my favorites. The cushioning helps absorb impact during long runs, the fit is consistent, and they hold up well through marathon training cycles. One mistake I see beginners make is trying to squeeze every last mile out of old shoes. If your shoes have several hundred miles on them, or you've had them for many years, you don't even know how long, Prime Days can be a great opportunity to replace them before those aches and pains start showing up. Now, if you're unsure what shoe would work best for you, visit a local running shoe store. Like in my area, it would be Fleet Feet. They can have you watch you walk, they can watch you run, they can do different tests or scans on your feet and recommend a shoe that's right for you. So head to your local running store and find the right shoe that works for you. Next up, favorite running gear, COROS Pace 3 running watch. Now, they do have the COROS Pace 4 out. I don't have that one yet. I have this COROS Pace 3. Let's talk about, this is one of the most important pieces of gear I use every single day, COROS Pace 3 watch. If you've ever wondered how I keep track of my pace while leading a 5:50 or 6-hour marathon pacing group, this COROS Pace 3 GPS watch is a huge part of it. What I love most about the COROS Pace 3 is that it's lightweight, it's easy to use, has incredible battery life. One of the biggest reasons why I switched from Garmin to COROS was the battery life. Now, I don't want to charge my watch every day, right? I want it to have great battery life. Now, a common thing I hear about people is they ask, can I just use my Apple Watch to go running? Absolutely, if you're doing shorter distances, but if you're going and wanting to run a marathon, the Apple Watch, I guarantee, is probably going to die, especially if you're a back of the pack runner. You're not going to want to use your Apple Watch. I've seen it happen way too many times of people in my pace group, their Apple Watch has died. COROS Pace 3, check it out. I want to put it on. I'm going to train. I'm going to pace races, track my walks, monitor my recovery, and trust that it's going to work when I need it. COROS Pace 3 watch. The GPS is incredibly accurate, which matters when you're pacing hundreds of runners towards a finish line goal. I also love being able to monitor on my COROS Pace 3 watch my pace, distance, heart rate, recovery metrics, my training load, my sleep. For beginners, it's simple enough to learn quickly, so have no fear. And for experienced runners, it provides more than enough data to support marathon training. So if you're considering your first GPS watch or looking to upgrade from an older model, Prime Day can be a fantastic time to grab one. I've used a lot of running watches over the years, and the COROS Pace 3 continues to be my go-to watch. Now, a fun little toy that I highly recommend for content creators like myself would be the HOVERAir X1 Pro drone cameras. I'm going to open this up and show you. Might be one of my favorite Prime Day purchases for content creator. As someone who spends a lot of time running alone, pacing races, traveling to marathons, and creating content, I wanted a way to capture footage without carrying a tripod or asking someone else to film. So the HOVERAir X1 Pro solved that problem. It launches directly from my hand and automatically follows me while I run and while I walk, hike, or explore. Some of my favorite clips have come from simply setting it up before I run and letting it do its work. If you've ever wondered how creators get those moving shots on trails, race courses, or scenic routes, this is one of the easiest tools I found. Even if you're not a content creator, it's incredible for documenting those family adventures, vacation hikes, and race weekends. Now, if you're like me, we like to listen to something while we run. But it's important. It's so important that we stay aware of our surroundings. It kills me when I see people on the trails or on the roads running, walking, and they have these big headphones on that block out all sound. No, safety matters. This is why one of the reasons I love my open ear headphones. They allow me to listen to podcasts, to audiobooks, or music while still hearing traffic, cyclists, other runners, and my surroundings, especially if you run early in the morning or on a shared path. Maintaining awareness is so important. They have become a non-negotiable part of my training. Open ear headphones or earbuds. Let's talk hydration. Summer is here and it is important, summer or not summer, to stay hydrated, but especially in summer as temperatures rise, hydration becomes increasingly important. Having a hydration vest or a handheld such as this Nathan handheld, I carry it every single run, even short runs, I always have my handheld hydration. You're going to want a hydration vest or a hydration handheld. It allows you to carry water, electrolytes, nutrition, your phone, and any other essentials like maybe car keys that you might need on those runs. Here's also the hydration vest that I use. This one I get a lot of compliments on because of the color. If you're listening to this, you can't see it, but if you look at my reels, you'll see my Nathan hydration vest. Nathan does make incredible running vests, the one I've had for over 10 years, high quality. So you're going to want a hydration vest, especially for those longer runs. And ultra runners, definitely you're going to need that hydration vest. What I love most about my handheld or my hydration vest is the freedom. No loops back to my car, no hoping there'll be a water fountain, no cutting runs short because I've ran out of fluids. For half marathon and marathon training, this is one hydration handheld or hydration vest is the most used pieces of gear. Now let's talk recovery. Training breaks your body down. Recovery helps rebuild it. A massage gun or foam roller can help loosen tight muscles after long runs, hard workouts, or strength training sessions. I especially appreciate having one available after pacing marathons when I've spent 6 hours on my feet. Even 5 minutes of recovery work can make a huge difference in how you feel the next day. The massage gun that I've been loving lately is Bob and Brad Ultra massage gun. I love that it has an extension handle and it even has an attachment that has red light and heat therapy on this massage gun. Definitely an important tool for recovery. Now, let's talk weighted vest. I know you might be thinking, what stuff do you actually run with a weighting vest? And no, mostly I use it for walking. Walking is one of the most underrated forms of exercise. Adding a weighted vest can increase the challenge while helping build strength and endurance. I often recommend people focus on consistency before adding resistance, but once you're ready, a weighted vest can be an excellent tool. So whether you're walking the neighborhood, doing incline treadmill workouts, or adding challenge to your daily movement, it's a simple way to level up. Last but not least, let's talk protein and recovery nutrition. One of the biggest mistakes I see runners make is under fueling. Protein, my friends, plays a critical role in muscle repair, recovery, strength development, and overall health. I prioritize protein every day because it helps me recover from running, strength training, and the demands of everyday life. Protein needs vary from person to person and your health goals, but the average adult should be consuming 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or their ideal body weight. So currently my daily protein goal is 165 grams of protein. That's my goal, to be strong, not skinny. The products in my storefront, from creatine, my favorite creatine is Create Gummies, to protein shakes like the Core Power Elite Chocolate, which I actually use in my Ninja Creamy to make ice cream, protein ice cream every night. Yeah, seriously, just pour this into my Ninja Creamy, my Core Power protein shake, add in a tablespoon of sugar-free pudding, and let that freeze. And bam, it makes the perfect base for my ice cream. Eat it plain. I like to mix in 2 Oreo Thins. So great. Low calories, high in protein, and hits my protein goals while also my sweet tooth. Final thoughts, my friend. Remember this. You do not need fancy gear to become a runner, although I just went through all of this great gear. You don't need fancy gear to become a runner. You do not need expensive gadgets. You do not need everything I've just mentioned on this podcast episode. But if you're already planning to purchase running gear, replace old equipment, or invest in tools that will support your goals, Prime Days, Amazon Prime Days can be a great opportunity to save money. I've linked all my favorite running, recovery, content creation, and wellness products in my Amazon storefront. As always, my friend, remember, all runners count. I'm cheering you on. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Run Strong Run podcast. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Run Strong Run or through my website at runstrongrun.com. You can support this podcast through a rating, review, or share. Until next time, run strong and run happy.